I want to make some meals that I carry to work with me in my lunchbox. So I have an idea of about 3 of them. And I make usually I make 1 serving, sometimes I make 2. And put them in small Tupperware containers and freeze them. So whatever you see me do, I'm just trying to give you the idea of what to do, and then you can make it as big or small as you like, and you can add things to it. Most of the things I make just have 100 calories or so because I pair them with fruits and other things when I have a meal. So I'm going to make soup, I'm going to make a saute, I'm going to make a stir fry, and I'm also going to bake some cake. So let me start with the soup. I'm going to turn the pan on. And with the soup, I am using for my broth, vegetable broth from Swanson. I'm using a interesting kind of noodle in this soup that I don't know how to explain. It's called shirataki, and I have found them at Publix, grocery store, and Whole Foods. As a matter of fact, it was $1 cheaper at Whole Foods today, which I was really surprised. These are not pasta. They're not rice. They are made from soybeans. And so they have so much less calories than pasta would and rice noodles would, but yet they give your soup the pasta-like feel. And you have to make them a special way. So I have poured them out of the bag, I have rinsed them and drained them, they're in the drainer now, and then I have to parboil them for 2 minutes and then dry them again and set them aside, and at the last 5 minutes or so of the soup, then I add them. I'm also going to cut them because they're really, really long, seriously, this long, and when you cook them, they're hard to break apart, so I learned the hard way. And now I've cut them into like bite-sized pieces. There is a recipe for soup on the back of the bag, so it will explain to you about how to use the noodles, but I'm not using that recipe. In my recipe, I am going to have chopped up onions and red pepper, and I'm going to saute those first. I am going to have corn for my protein, the chicken tenders type. I am going to have lentils, which I part way cooked, so I won't add them right away. And I think my pan's warm enough, so I should start sauteing my vegetables. And I should have my simmer fry glass of water here. If that pan's too hot, if that happens to you, just rinse it out, start over. Pan was too hot, so it right away burnt my non-fat spray. So I'll be ready now. Spray the pan, it's a medium-sized pan, scoop up the onion and red pepper. And now, I don't remember from last time, I tried to write down everything, and I didn't remember if I used garlic or not, but I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little garlic powder in there while they're simmer frying. But this vegetable broth has a nice flavor to it, and I'm going to add a bay leaf when it's simmering. So, vegetables are in the saucepan. Add a little water to simmer fry. And as they become tender, then I will add the rest of the ingredients so that it will simmer for a while. I need to take care of these noodles, and I think that I will cut them first. So if you have a nice pair of kitchen scissors, you can, here, can you see these noodles, how long they are? I'm going to chop them up with my scissors. Then I'm going to boil them for a couple minutes and put them back in this drainer until it's time to put them in the soup. And I'm very much aware of how boring it must be to be watching a video of somebody cutting noodles and food simmering on the stove. But I don't have anything to say because I just spent the last couple hours writing my blog today, and I'm worn out of talking about health topics. Okay, so the vegetables are simmering there. I'm going to go ahead and dump the corn in. It was frozen. And that's simmering a little bit too. The next thing I'm going to do is add the broth. And then I'm going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes. I think I'll go ahead and add the lentils because I didn't cook them all the way. And start some water to boil for these noodles. Okay, so I'm going to use the whole can of vegetable broth. We can get this out of the way, then I can start making something else. Oh, the other ingredient is spinach. Just a little bit of spinach that adds a nice color to it. It's especially good if you can use a different colored lentil. I think I have green lentils or brown lentils, but the more colors you can put into your soup, the more appetizing it will appear. Here are my lentils. So I'm going to turn it up so it'll start to boil, and then I'll let it simmer. We'll start it off at 15 minutes. Another thing that I'm going to make is a stir fry with green peppers and mushrooms and the chicken nuggets that I told you about before, but I didn't have the box. So I have some out, but I also have an unopened box. They are called Smart Strips. Smart Strips steak style strips. Seasoned veggie strips. I'm going to make a stir fry out of those. I'm going to use the green pepper and mushroom, as I said, and the Worcestershire sauce, and these strips, which are very high in protein. What I'm disturbed to find is that a lot of these products I use are also high in sodium, so you do need to watch out for that.